This morning, using science to explore near-death experiences. I neglected to say that Jenna was joining us for trending, so now I will just introduce her as part of this series. Jenna, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Imagine having a near-death experience where you leave your physical body but remain conscious. Is this the afterlife? Thanks to cutting-edge science, there are tools to measure those accounts, and there are some stunning consistencies.
I found myself flying through a star-filled realm.
It's a glimmer of heaven, many say.
It's rapture. It's beyond description.
I just felt absolutely ecstatic.
Transformative, miraculous, even magical. But are they actually real?
What happens during these experiences?
Well, people who come close to death for any reason typically describe a sensation of being profoundly peaceful and comfortable. Some of them describe a tunnel and a bright, warm, welcoming light.
Dr. Sam Parnia of SUNY Stony Brook and author of Erasing Death conducts cutting-edge research.
Probably the most interesting aspect of this is that a small group of them, not everybody, describes a sensation of actually separating from themselves and watching doctors and nurses trying to save their lives, except that they're clinically dead.
In the AWARE study, Dr. Parnia looked at 2,000 cases. Using auditory tests, they timed consciousness for up to 5 minutes after the brain had shut down.
40% of people had a perception of having had awareness, which was phenomenally high. 10% of them had a classical near-death experience, and about 3% of them actually had full consciousness and awareness and could describe things.
And in one man's case, with verifiable accuracy.
He was able to recall details for up to 5 minutes of events that were charted exactly as had occurred, even though the brain shuts down within 2 to 20 seconds.
So that was 5 minutes while he was flatlined.
He was clinically dead,
While
that's
he was
right.
clinically
That's
dead.
right, while he was dead, and his brain would not have been functioning.
Millions of people have had near-death experiences. There is a tremendous amount of science.
Dr. Jeffrey Long is a radiation oncologist and author of God and the Afterlife.
I've studied over 4,000. You see a very consistent pattern of elements.
Long says he observes remarkable parallels.
There may be a life review where they see part or all of their prior life. They may encounter deceased relatives. These are joyous reunions. The two most common words used to describe a near-death experience are peace and love.
And after people survive, he sees dramatic lifestyle changes.
These changes include an increased belief in an afterlife and a decreased fear of death. They may leave jobs where they're forced to act out in materialistic ways.
But not everybody believes the accounts, and some completely dismiss the near-death concept.
People are skeptical about it.
People who are skeptical about them often think that these are simply hallucinations.
Parnia is conducting a new study, giving specific sound through an earpiece to patients in cardiac arrest. Unusual images will also be placed high and facing the ceiling, so they're only visible to somebody looking down from above. In theory, to a soul separated from a physical body.
If you come back and say you saw Dr. Smith or Dr. Jones, what they were doing, the question is, will you also see the image that's in the room that is independent and that you would not have been able to guess because it's not something you'd expect to see on TV?
So this connects up here.
This exactly.
And now he hopes to enroll other hospitals.
Yeah, I hope it will inspire other doctors to start thinking about how they should be measuring what's happening in the brain.
Ultimately, not only will research help patients survive and recover, it will also shed light on the enduring mystery of what really happens after we die.
There's a vast amount that we can learn from near-death experiences.
While the research is ongoing, members in the near-death community believe that science and medical professionals are becoming more accepting of the concept. And I have to say, if anything, it gives us hope that there's this peace.
Yeah.
And he also says that it's not a religious thing necessarily, you know, that this is a medical study to see what people hear and see. And the images are put in places where you'd have to be on top of the room, not laying in the bed.
Like an aerial view.
So, exactly.
It's interesting to see the science. We talked about what you feel inside, but it's interesting when you see how the brain operates. Great. That was great. Thanks, Jenna.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.